This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at a kind of different figure that I felt like I had to get because I believe she's a wolf.
You're my kind of wolf.
And you know, for obvious reasons. But this is Liya Alopex. Liya Alopex. At least I think that's how it's spelled, or how it's pronounced. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. This is the fixed version. I did see when I was trying to look up to see if she actually came from anything specific, which she apparently does not, other than this toy company. Although the toy line apparently is called Mystic Land. There's a version that they're referring to as the Candyland version, where she is pink and basically her clothing is colored like Misty's from Pokemon. Or Kasumi, depending upon if you're watching the Japanese version. That being said, this was kind of interesting too, because this was already wrapped in a plastic, but I took it out because it was kind of in the way of photos. But it had this little thing on the top. Please take photos or record video of the unboxing from multiple angles for after-sales use. So if we look on the side, we see a little 8-bit character version of her there with just her name and her head sculpt. Slightly different pose, but the same information. No pixel character. Nothing interesting on the top or the bottom. And then on the back, again, we've got this whole thing where it kind of still resembles kind of a video game thing. I'm Liya. I really don't know how to pronounce her name. First time I've met you. Do you need anything fixed? And we got 3 different facial features here. And a bunch of equipment and a stand. So let's go ahead and open her up, shall we? Oh. So just the inside of the box looks like a pixelated landscape. Thank you for choosing Lado Toys. After sales service card. Alrighty. Here we have an informational card for her. I'm Liya. First time I've met you. Do you need anything fixed? Liya Alopex. Fixed version, era 001. Basic information, sex, female. Age, 16. Height, 186 centimeters. Species, Arctic foxes. Not a wolf. I that one up. Occupation, mechanic. We have our little strength and agility meter here. Sword training, mechanical appeal, and mechanical repair. Scan the character code on the back to view the skill animation. I wonder if I can go ahead and record that somehow. And then it's just Japanese on the other side. So she's an Arctic fox, so I screwed that one up. Not a wolf. But hey, she's still a pretty foxy character. Pun intended. I think we'll leave that right where it is. Alright, so we have a hammer. We have what looks like a wooden sword. We have an axe, a monkey wrench, a screwdriver, and some other kind of wrench. Plus 6 sets of hands. And honestly, those gripping hands don't look like they're sized right for actually holding any of the tools. Oh god, we gotta try to get the plastic off of her. I'll have to grab some other figures here in order to show height differences here. So one thing to note, and I'm going to do this on these other heads. It appears that you can move the eyes around. You see this back here? Although it's not easy to do. Well, I thought you could move. There we go. It's just stuck. So you can kind of position the eyes themselves inside the head. That's actually pretty unique. There we go. We loosen that one up. Uh-oh. And now I don't think I can get her back. So you So you have to kind of position her eyes however you want them to be. I kind of like that feature, but I feel like they should still be kind of connected in some way so that, you know, they move together so you're not doing cross-eyed or some other weird shit. But we have a blushing face right here. An angry face, although the eye color is different. That's kind of weird. Why is her angry looking face got blue eyes? And again, movable eyes that are stuck pretty hardcore. So that'd be the same with her eyes. So kind of looks like when they put this head on there that they had put the eye upside down on one side. Oh dear God. All right, let's pull that off. Look at her. She's kind of. We'll get that the head out. This is her neutral portrait. Like I said, looks like the one eye is upside down. Oh, for God's sake. I'm going to pause this because I'm going to have to try to figure out how to move that. Well, I fixed that head. But let's go ahead and go with the blushing head. Oh. I guess we actually have to do the hair piece first. And then slide that back into place like so. I kind of like that our belt here has goggles on there, which I guess technically would probably just slip off and put on there. But otherwise, nothing useful. We have a tool belt, which also would connect into her. So we got a little peg hole here, and then there's the peg hole right there. And then we get our tools, and our tools can fit in there. The placement of the fur here seems kind of weird to me. It's like she's got some extra deep bush going on there. She does have peg holes here. I don't know if I really want to take any of these things out of here, to be honest with you, because I feel like they're just going to get lost. Although, in order to do anything with some of this stuff, it's going to have to at least take some of our hands out, right? It is sticky, so you can stick it back in place, though. I'm going to take out her two gripping hands. Pull that off. Pretty standard for these kind of figures. Ow! Damn! Her nails are sharp! They are actually sharp too, look at that. Ah, shit, that whole thing came off. I hate when that happens. That's the one problem with this design, with these designs like this. Sometimes the whole joint comes out. But it did look like this came with a couple extra joints, so if that does happen, or if something breaks, I guess you have the replacement parts there. But right now, we just got both of her hands in there. And I bet we can fit her old hands into that spot where they were, so we don't lose them. Sure. All right. By the way, let's take a good look at this figure again, because we haven't done articulation yet. And she got boobs. Something we don't see in a lot of American figures. Oh, crap, I forgot about her tail. Stupid me. All right. Real quick, her tail is articulated too, so you got articulation right here. Oh. and here. Although getting this part to move is a bear. And then we've got a joint here with a ball and a twist. And then, of course, we get to peg it into her butthole. Like so. And that definitely makes her back heavy. But yeah, you can move her tail around. So what they really needed to do was design it so that it could twist in a position that would help hold her up. But then we do have her special base here. With one peg, of course, because, you know, all these toy companies hate us. It's not even designed so she can be centered in the thing. All right. We got our sword. Ow. Fits in one hand. And we can put a hammer in the other. So there you go. Though she does not seem to be designed to actually hold the sword in her belt pouch here. Again, I think that's just for these weapons here. But let's go ahead and take a look at our articulation here. The ears actually can move. And they can spin. So you can kind of position them into different positions, however you think is good. Like maybe alert, tired, cranky, I don't know. Head is likely on a ball joint. We can spin it around. The hair obviously interferes with some of that movement though. And generally speaking, the braid is designed to go in the front of her shoulder. So you kind of want to try to keep that up there. On our arm, we have an up and down hinge. And we can spin. Hair interferes with it. There is a bicep cut here, which is good. Double jointed elbows. We love double jointed elbows in our figures. We can spin at the wrist. And we can either do up and down or inside and out because that joint, remember, it's one of those, a ball in the middle with two pegs in it. So you twist everything around in order to get it into the position you want it to go. She does have a boob cut here, so you can move her top half separate from her waist, which also can be moved around. Both appear to be on ball joints, though you don't get the same range of motion up there as you do here, or down there as you do up here. She does have drop-down hips, and she can kick forward about that far, and back about that far, and of course, we can get pretty far out, although that's weird. Though she can't really do the splits. There is a thigh cut here where the shorts meet the top of the leg. Again, I'm not too fond of the way they put the fur in here. For one, I feel like it should be on the outside of the leg and not on the front like that. And also, it's not even between the two. We have a double jointed knee, which is really nice. There is no boot. Ow. There's no boot cut here, which is kind of surprising, to be honest. We have a hinge, and we can spin at the foot. And also, we have a hinge at the toes, so we get a little bit of range there as well. I just want to take a quick look at the other documentation we got with her. This just kind of shows everything you can do. Oh. Her braid also spins, so the braid's articulated, so you can put it back of her hair like that if you want. Or you can have it again, spin it forward like so. So that is something I would not have known if I hadn't looked at the instructions here, and she just fell over. How to install the platform? Oh, yeah, okay, it's just pegging it in there. Again, we see where all the tools go on her belt. We see the extra hands and such. Oh, actually, it looks like this hand is designed for holding the screwdrivers and stuff. And then there's just our part list right there. No. Here is a quick bit of scaling with her and some G.I. Joe classified figures. We have the first release of Duke, the one who has the punchable face. Sergeant Slaughter for Slaughter's Marauders. And of course, my custom version of Vibra or Anaconda. And she actually scales pretty decently with the G.I. Joe figures. So you could put her with your G.I. Joe Classified series figures if you wanted, although a bunch of the women are going to be very upset that she's got bigger boobs than they do. Of course, now we have her compared with our Masters of the Universe figures. On one side, we have the 2000X cartoon collection. On the other side, we have the Origins figures. And one cartoon collection one, but that's still Origin style. And she scales decently with the 2000X cartoon collection figures, but not quite as well as she did with the G.I. Joe figures. And she just seems to be mostly dwarfing the Origins ones. Granted, her stand is like twice as tall, but that still doesn't really account for the height difference totally. All right, so this time we have her with a Legends Spider-Man and Emma Frost and the Ghostbusters, Peter Venkman Slimed version, and of course, Catwoman from McFarlane. Once again, she does seem to be about the same size as the Legends figures. She does a bit taller than Peter there. Peter Venkman, not Peter Parker. And of course, while Catwoman is actually taller, it just doesn't seem to fit in with that one, although they do have the same kind of jointing overall for the most part. And for our final comparison size-wise, we're going to go with a couple of Masterverse figures. I have She-Ra and New Adventures He-Man, or they definitely tower over her a bit. But honestly, as far as this goes, they probably fit in the best with her out of any of the ones that we've looked at. So ultimately with this figure, I mean, I got her because she was cute and I thought she was a wolf. Now I know she's an Arctic fox and I still like her. She's adorable. I'm not sure how I'm going to display her, although I am kind of tempted to stick her in the general league just for shits and giggles. Of course, to do that, I'd have to pop her tail off, but that would still be funny, wouldn't it? Or even on a G.I. Joe vehicle for that matter. That'd be kind of cool too. This style of figure though isn't everybody's cup of tea, you know, the whole anthropomorphic character thing. But I have no problem with the anthropomorphic characters. And like I said, I thought this one was adorable and also a wolf. So if I'd known she was Arctic fox, I might not have actually picked her up at the time. That's my bad. Though now that I have her and I've seen pictures of the Candyland version, I kind of want to get that one too, even though it's pretty much the same figure in different colors. But heck, still adorable. I don't think I would recommend this for every collector out there. It's just something you kind of pick up on a whim. I am wondering though if this company's going to make more figures for part of this line besides just her in different versions, or if they've got other characters they're going to work on. But it is kind of fun, you know? And also, let's just be honest, you got a great set of tits. We don't see those in any figures released in the US as part of any mainline figure set, right? Not in Masters of the Universe, not in G.I. Joe, not even in Marvel, really. Although I guess technically speaking, the 2000X figures are a lot closer to having nice tits. Yeah, I'm a bit focused, I guess, on the moment. But anyway, why don't you guys let me know what you think about this figure in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, please feel free to slice that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe. Feel free to knock that notification bell with your little wooden sword. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.